Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we are live on Friday. It is 11:57. Why? Because we're 3 minutes early. It's Friday, and we need to talk. We got shit that's going on, crazy stuff. It is nonstop. We got to talk about it. August 28th is the end of the month. We're not going to get into politics because politics is crazy, but last night was cool. Lots of interesting ideas, lots of people talking, and some people shouting. I don't know why everyone's shouting. Well, frankly, who am I to complain? I'm shouting. I shout, so who the hell am I to criticize someone for a good shout? Listen, guys, all I can say about politics is I like good ideas. If someone talks a good idea, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. That's really what it boils down to. If someone says something smart, I'm going to say, yeah, that was smart. If someone says something stupid, I'm like, really? Really? What do we got on the stream? We got Glenn, we got Lewis in the house, we got Digibot Just Nibble. What's up, everybody? Well, we got some questions. Let's start out with some questions. I like questions. Questions means I'm helping people understand. It's cool. Why are the bitcoins, the gold and silver charts exactly the same? Because they are not dollars. There's more. I mean, frankly, that's really what the largest macro. It's either dollars or not dollars. So, as the value of the dollar goes down, as it's attacked in value, people are trying to get out of dollars. But the problem is that the global system, as Brent talks about, there's a massive dollar demand. It's only in the States that we're trying to get out of dollars. I mean, everyone else is trying to get into dollars because dollars are much stronger in value as compared to their local fiat. So, you know, George Gammon does some really good videos, guys. Talks about the prevailing theories now. So I forget which video it was, but he was talking about the euro dollar and how that's really the world reserve currency because of the shadow banking and just how much fake, debt-based money has been issued. It's massive, absolutely massive. So, point being, Glenn. It's all about which outperforms, and that's the most interesting thing because when you're talking about value, and we're trying to buy cryptocurrencies because we're going to think it's going to go up in value, but value is relative. The value of the crypto versus what? The dollar versus gold? Are we sitting on charts? Gold versus Bitcoin? Gold versus Ethereum? Gold versus Bancor? It's all relative, and it all comes down to the word outperform or underperform. And something is either outperforming or underperforming something else. But compared to something else, it's the opposite. Very complicated, and it'll really throw your brain for a loopy. Lewis says VET, not on my radar. So bear in mind, for me, I look at more of the financials. I think the financial system is poised for disruption. Clearly, tracking identity, record storage, which is why I love Digibyte. There's countless industries that are positioned to be disrupted, but you can't own everything. And I sure as hell can't own everything. I don't have enough capital. Otherwise, I'd be spread too thin. Never go all in, never spread too thin. So I don't spread too thin. My focus is on financials, which is really DeFi at this point with regard to positions because it's just, there's a reason it exploded. Follow the money, follow the developers. And this is what I did a couple months ago, and sure as hell, it played out very nicely. And the money is in straight up DeFi. Now, the art to investing is to not get, or at least in the crypto space, is to not get suckered into what happened in 2017 with the garbage. Like you got everyone and their mother creating a cryptocurrency, and that's silly. Yeah, you can make a lot of money. And Little Moon Lambo and a whole bunch of the boys on Twitter make a lot of money off these Insta assets, Insta tokens that have, some interesting properties, game theory, and, I have no interest. I don't have time. I don't have time nor patience. And no, frankly, I can't get the position sizing I'm looking for. I don't give a shit about making a 10x on one Ethereum. I want to make 50%, 100% on 100 Ethereum. So bear in mind, so a lot of what I say, everything that everyone says is subjective. It's relative to their own personal situation. So bear in mind, a lot of what I say is that. So take that into consideration. I don't want 100x on one Ethereum. I want 10% on 100 Ethereum, stuff like that. I want less risk, less reward. I don't want max risk, max reward. I want to invest in something that has a $500 million market cap and it goes to a $2 billion market cap because that's cool. That was something that's much less volatile than something that's like 100K, a 200K market cap, which is nothing. That could easily get destroyed, go to zero. And I'm not interested in that kind of volatility. Volatility, ladies and gentlemen. Moochie Boochie, Snoochie Boochie Manucci. Lucky, my man. Captain Weber, President Sir. Yes. Adam, what makes Lend so special? Lend was introduced in 2017, the first lending protocol. Lend is truly, uh, might be one of the most important crypto projects. Arguably one of the most important crypto projects. Lend is up a huge amount of percent, thousands of percent. Went from 2 cents to, what is it, at 80 cents? Um, Lend, there's only 3 protocols that do what Lend does. It's Lend, Aave, Compound, and Maker. Those are the big ones. Synthetics has aspects of it, but Synthetics is much more broader in functionality, much more diverse in functionality. Um, I have a Lend position. I threw it into Bancor last night. I'll get into Bancor. Get into Bancor. Got that Bancor swag on, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! It's good stuff. Holy Bancor. So look, I got a nice little green on Aave because I had this in Bancor last night. Why? Because this thing ripped from the bottom of the triangle right to the top. And are we going to break out? Get the hell out. How come we start a stream and things start breaking out? If this thing rips through this triangle while I'm on the stream, I'm going to fall over backwards because I'm going to get off the stream and I'm going to run out of my office and be like, up to my family, like, oh, it's happening. Look, oh, it's so close. It peeks its head out. It pokes its head out. Do you see it? Do you see it happening? Oh my goodness, exciting. What I miss? What I miss? Let's keep it going. Other than basic attention token and Kyber network, they don't pay much interest. Yeah. Don't worry about. So here, what is interest? And you got to really think about things in a reasonable way, guys. You can't keep hoping for like 10,000% interest on $100. There's no such thing as free money. There's no such thing as crypto's going to change your life. It doesn't work like that. Crypto is an opportunity just like anything else we encounter in our lives, whether it be the stock market, whether it be a job interview, whether it be a lotto ticket, whether it be a bond that your uncle bought you in 1964 for $100 and it paid 8% per year for the last 60, 70 years. That's and you just found it in the back of a drawer. So that's an opportunity. So there's no magic, there's no miracles. The American dream. It's just nothing's going to happen unless you make it happen. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how do you make it happen? You have to put yourself in the right position to let the market come to you. And you have to take risk. Without risk, there is no reward. Too much risk, and you risk everything. So risk analysis is absolutely critical. So here's a good example of risk analysis. This thing's about to freaking break out. Look at the stoke on this bad boy. So what would I do if I had a little bit more free capital and I wasn't really risk off into Bitcoin? Look at this stoke. This is, bam, throw 100 grand in. Check it out. Check it out on the 4-hour. So you set a stop loss at the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. 2%, 3%. Yeah, it's a couple of $1,000 that you could lose But if this thing breaks out and it rips 20, 30, 40, 50%, that is, let's say 50% compared to a $5,000 loss, that's a 10 to 1. Your profit to loss is skewed 10 to 1 because Banco sure as hell rips 20, 30, 40, 50%. And to top it all off, this is a massive breakout. Not multi-month, but this is a good month. And you got to remember the bigger picture because the 4 hour doesn't really show the whole thing. This is coming off massive bullish action. This is 1,000% up to the top from the bottom. That's 1,000%. So what I've learned over the last couple of years is, yeah, you got to throw around good portions of life savings, and you have to get a sense of what that feels like. And you want to minimize. So this is exactly where you want to minimize your risk. To start, you have to minimize the heck out of your risk. And then you get a feeling for what it's like. And that is a couple of very rough, tough, hard truth statements for the American dream. No one's going to give it to you. No one's going to give it to you. You have to take it. And you either take it or you don't. And you just, what I have to say about these charts is you want as much data as possible. And you want to skew the odds in your favor. Now look at these damn odds. Look at this. Look at the Stoke. Look at the Stoke is pressure. Stoke is how much room does it have to run to the upside? And look at this movement. This doesn't move. Stocks, crypto, they don't move like this. Look at it. This thing's going to pop. This thing's on the verge of popping. And guess what? If it doesn't, I mean, bear in mind, look, it's already pretty much at the previous high, local high on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. It's pretty much there, but the 4 hour, look, the 4 hour still has plenty of room to the upside. Plenty of room before it gets into overbought territory. So this is about risk and reward. Anyway, sorry, just my 2 cents, just a couple of cents, because Banco is about to pop, and I'm excited. What do we got? Question: do masternode rewards such as BlockNet fluctuate with price? Masternode rewards are constant for BlockNet. Masternodes are inflationary. POS is inflationary. So that means the value of the asset is decreasing. So that's important to consider and understand. So the whole point of staking is that you're getting more, but the value is going down, so your value is constant. So you need to stake POS assets in order to maintain value and not lose value. So clearly there's a variety of ways for BlockNet to produce additional value, which is obviously the service nodes and the functionality that they offer to the general public that they're not consuming in entirety yet, or at all, really much. But if they do, and BlockNet is fully adopted, it's going to be one hell of a revenue stream. And that is the whole point. That is risk reward. That is a bet. It's like buying a business. It's like starting a business, like getting a $100,000 loan and signing a lease on a piece of property at the corner convenience shopping strip, and then there's nothing different. The biggest difference between starting a business and playing these games with these assets is liquidity. How hard is it to sell a business? How hard is it to exit your position? How hard is it to exit a real estate position? It's very hard. But these assets, these stocks, these crypto assets, you can exit a position instantaneously with the click of a button. So to me, that's just like incredible. Absolutely incredible what you could do with the click of a button. Paul says, are all the developers are Ethan died? Yeah, and Cosmos. Big deal going on with Cosmos, Ethereum, and Polkadot. Boys and girls, follow the developers, period. Polkaproject.com, it says it all. The Cosmos ecosystem and the BSN picking up IrisNet. Absolutely incredible. Follow the developers, follow the money. There is no other platform out there doing anything like this. I mean, Tezos 2 years in, Polkadot 4 days in mainnet is already greater transaction volume than Tezos. So it's it deprecated Tezos in 4 days. So that's how you know a project has legs. There's substance to Polkadot. You don't come in and deprecate a multi-billion-dollar asset in 4 days unless you're coming in packing, coming in hot. Man, look at this stoke. This thing's gonna rip through. That's exciting. How's Bluezell? No idea. I don't have a position. Not something I'm interested in. The technology's cool. Wasn't that distributed database, distributed storage? Great, love it. And there's probably plenty of folks that are going to do very well with the asset. And it's a meaningful technology. And I do not discount that in any regard. It's just not on my radar from a position standpoint. What do you think about AirSwap? I don't know off the top of my head. Sounds cool. Probably an AMM. Probably just another, you know, automated market maker facilitating trades. Yay. How about a great wife priceless more valuable than rubies? Yep, that's what I say about my wife every morning. That's right. Would you say Kyber's better than Lend based on current market cap? So it's not about market cap. Kyber is not Lend. Completely different technology. Kyber is Kyber should be doing much better than this damn chart. And this chart is annoying. So I got my Kyber position. I think I have 1,000 of them bad boys. I'm just sitting on it. But I'm risk off right now because the chart doesn't say to be risk on. The chart, I would love that this is a cleaner symmetric triangle, but this thing is freaking ugly. So I don't have enough confluence to really say, yeah, when this thing breaks, it's going to break to the upside. I don't know. I don't know. It's just an ugly, ugly chart that has deviations all over the place. Um, I mean, if you go to the weekly, here's the one inspirational thing that I know about the chart. The stock is ready to rip to the upside again, and this thing is up hundreds of percent. And look at the green guppies. So that means there's a relative uptrend, a general uptrend going on in the averages. So that's a good deal. Which is why I still have my moon bag, as they call it. But it's a completely different technology. Kyber is incentivized supply disruption and deflationary, which is an accelerating deflationary asset. The monetary properties of Kyber might be some of the best monetary properties in the entire crypto space, which is something I mentioned before. I believe Lend is going to have interesting monetary properties when it swaps to the Aave asset. There's going to be incentives and probably locking and incentivized supply disruption and governance, which is absolutely fascinating. I think Lend is probably on the verge of being a multi-billion-dollar asset, in my opinion. It has that money license in the UK. I mean, guys, Lend could easily start issuing mortgages and just start disrupting banks. That's what Lend is. That's what Lend is on the verge of doing in probably the next couple years. What am I missing? What am I missing? David says, what do you think about Kulupu? I don't know off the top of my head. Kusama, yeah, it's speculative, particularly because it's the Canary network for Polkadot. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Are projects that actually operate on Kusama? Or if they're using it as a test net, they're going to transfer to Polkadot. But what does it mean, transfer to Polkadot? Because if what is a Polkadot asset? They're probably building a blockchain and substrate, and they're going to register it as a parachain in Kusama, and then at some point re-register as a parachain in Polkadot, and use the relay chain of Kusama versus Polkadot as the voice of truth, and that's the whole point. So what's the significance of Polkadot? We don't know. This is all brand new, and a lot of it is speculative. So I'm not a speculator. I don't want to. I don't need to speculate. I don't need to because I know certain things without a doubt, and that's why I'm always looking at the same damn assets, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very important point. There's a reason I'm always looking at the same damn assets. These assets have a history. They have a trend. Bancor dates back to 2017. Lend dates back to 2017. Kyber is accelerating deflationary. Ren is a systemic disruption that's comparable to Chainlink. Might be one of the most important technological assets in the entire crypto space. I mean, every one of these has a story. Digibyte, Cosmos, XRP has a story. Um, the dollar, gold, and Ethereum, which is everything I have up here has a purpose, and there is a bit of consistency, reliability, lack of volatility with these particular assets in some regards. Oh, doggy door. All right. Iris is doing a presentation at Chainlink Smart Contract Summit. Iris is a big deal. IRETA is a big deal. Pretty sure Iris and IRETA are pushing to be the interoperability solution for the BSN, especially with IBC, with Cosmos Stargate IBC. Big deal, guys. Nervos network was added to BSN2. Yeah, no doubt. I don't know anything about them. I'd spread too thin, so I don't get involved. AirSwap OTC for Goldman Sachs. Cool. Cool. Very nice. Very interesting. Keep me posted. Let me know if you find anything that's interesting. Follow the developers, follow the money. Damn right. Goddamn right. Thoughts on Ken? I have no idea. What are they? Do they have a parachain? Do they have a substrate parachain? No. So what are they? So that this is the most important thing, guys. When you're looking at Ken and Ohm. So I know CoinGecko. So Ohm is going for Rio Chain. Was it Riot? So I don't know enough. It's just very premature. That's why. What does premature mean? It's speculative. If you don't have a full comprehensive understanding of something that you want to invest in, don't fucking invest in it. That's not how you do it, guys. That's how you're taking too much risk. That's how you're doing things you have no idea what you're doing, and you put a risk on the table, which means it gets cut 50% in half, and you're like, what the hell happened? Because you had no idea what was going on. Like if Bancor is not going to get cut 50% in half. I know where the bottom is. I know where supports are. And you could do this with like assets like Ken and Ohm, which are highly speculative. But it's a much lower market cap and the fundamentals are unknown. You don't know where it fits into the big picture because the product doesn't have a user base. So the utility, sure, they say it's going to have great utility, but it's not there yet. To my understanding, Ohm is a temporary ERC20 asset to be replaced by a substrate asset at some point, but I have no interest in getting into like Elrond, ERD. I don't want to buy ERC20s. I want to buy mainnet assets. I don't want to buy Thorchain, was it BEP 49,000? Binance chain assets? No, I want to buy the damn mainnet assets. I don't like fake temporary assets. That drives me nuts, guys. KNC and Len will be multi-billion-dollar for sure. The fundamental analysis of the projects. What do they do? What utility and functionality do they provide? These are like society-changing features and functions. And there's, frankly, Bancor, Kyber, they're in the same tech. Different monetary properties. Bancor has years more experience than Kyber, but that doesn't. There's no discredit to Kyber nor Bancor. Listen, you got Walmart, you got Target, you got Walgreens. I don't know, whatever the competitors are. The whole point is you want competition, and there's some really good, healthy competition between Bancor and Kyber, and that's a good thing. The only thing I don't like is when competition gets unhealthy, and that's just unfortunate. It's supposed to be healthy because you have multiple people pushing back and forth, and therefore everyone has to keep innovating and iterating, and you don't want one to really get far out ahead of the other, and that's how you have monopolies, and that's not healthy for any ecosystem. Thank you, Paul. Noah rocks. Love his tweets. Appreciate it. Noah, you would love Dusk? Sure, I probably would, but I don't have any value to invest in it. I couldn't get a position even if I wanted to. Charlie G. Noah Group. Maybe one day. I don't know. I don't have any time. Maybe. I'm looking at a computer over here. I got a computer here. I got a computer here, and I got a screen here. I don't have any time for it. I barely have enough time to do the things I want to do. Barry says UNN. I have no idea what UNN is, my friend. I have no idea. Paul Marin says Bancor is easy to use, has great user functionality. So Bancor grabbed the user interface from Uniswap. which is cool. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And then frankly, Mooniswap took the user interface from Uniswap as well. So the point is now Uniswap has to innovate to remain competitive, and that's the whole point. So Bancor with their V2 protocol, frankly, is potentially systemically disruptive of the entire AMM space. I was hopeful that Mooniswap was going to solve the impermanent loss, and that is kind of what they really wanted to say they did when they launched the platform and they wrote their Medium article. I don't think they're doing it though. I think they're capturing slippage. That's what they're saying. They say they're capturing slippage. I don't know what that means from a technological perspective. So when I don't know what something means, I'm not going to speculate necessarily on it, but I have interest in it, to understand what the implications are. And those implications could have potential effects on the valuation of assets because it affects the psychology of people when they hear the information, so on and so forth. Point being, Bancor is cool. Bancor V2 Tech has not, the psychological impact of the V2 Tech has not hit the mass market yet. And frankly, just from a technical perspective, technicals, this thing is hot. When this thing breaks to the upside, this is going to be a heck of a break. Oh, it's going to be nice. So weigh your risk reward and make decisions accordingly. If you have no risk, you're going to have no reward. Protect your gains. If it rips 10 to 20% to the upside, you take off the table. And if it breaks to the downside, you protect your gains. Maybe sell. And move it right back into Ethereum and Bitcoin and wait 6 months and you're going to double your money anyway. So this is the complexity, because you got to think outside of now. You got to think over time. So let's say check this out. Let's say you put 100 grand right at the blue line and it rips through, or it breaks down and you lose 10%, you lose 10 grand, and you get frustrated and you sell it right back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you know where it's going to be in a year or two. So, did you lose anything? So, protect the downside, protect your gains, sell on the upside and on the downside. At least that's my recommendation. Always be selling. Picky to buy, quick to sell. Those are my phrases and my sentences. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Hit the likes, people, and subscribe. More the merrier. Thoughts on fusion? I don't know what fusion is. AM. Fusion sounds like fission. Fusion is the taking of two hydrogen atoms and then squishing them together until they merge into helium and release energy. Yeah, I'm an engineer. I'm a sick person. Santiago Velez is a brain. There are 3 people that I admire in my life that are brains. What they say, the words that they say, are very meaningful to me. One is my friend Simon, who's a Flutter developer. Another one is Mental Colatz, who wrote the. I'm pretty sure it's more than one algorithm for Digibyte. One or more of their consensus algorithms. Definitely Autocrypt, but I think he did other work as well. And Santiago Velez, what he says, how he says it, when I've heard him speak, the words he says are very impressive. They carry great meaning. It is very worthwhile to attempt to digest the ideas that he attempts to convey, or rather, the ideas that he does convey. I don't know. Bluezell is cool. Bluezell is a distributed database tech. Someone brought it up earlier in the stream. I don't hold a position. I probably will never hold a position in it. Sounds cool. I don't know really what it means in the big picture. Tell me your dot story, man. Well, for some reason, my damn bandwidth on this stream is killing me today. Kilobit 1750. So I apologize if it's not the best performance stream, but I got 3 minutes, 12:27, and you want me to talk the dot story, baby? Candid saying, tell me your dot story. Listen, Polkadot is like has a centralized has the relay chain, which is like is a centralized a source of truth to parachains, but it's the relay chain in itself decentralized. It's decentrally governed, so it's not. If that's the type of words that we could use to describe the relationship between the relay chain and the parachains, but we know that the governance of the relay chain and the Polkadot ecosystem is decentralized. So it's fascinating what Gavin put together, as compared to Ethereum, no doubt. Polkadot is profound. There's no reason it shouldn't be number three top market cap right behind Ethereum. Even if Polkadot is substantially superior to Ethereum, it does not necessarily entail at all it's going to disrupt Ethereum. So this is the fallacy that so many people over the years have had, that something's going to come along and make Ethereum not Ethereum. Like Cardano's going to take out Ethereum. Cardano's not going to take out itself. What is it, number 11 now? It's the same as Tezos. It's actually worse than Tezos. Tezos actually is functional. Uh, Cardano doesn't even have smart contracts. It's not functional. It doesn't do anything. It actually does nothing. Just saying. Invest in interoperability. Damn right. And that's why Red might be one of the most important things. Ren might be one of the most important assets in the entire crypto space. 32 ETH or 1 BTC. I can't answer that for you, my friend. All I know is my personal approach is accumulate Ethereum and Bitcoin. Charlie says stream is going fine. Excellent. That sounds good. I get a little red box down in the corner of my broadcasting software. I hope. Thank you for the confirm. Appreciate it. Obviously, it's quite delayed because the text is probably instant, but I'm pretty sure I said that like 3 minutes ago. So that's what I have to deal with when I'm broadcasting. It's not so easy. Not so easy. CRO. I don't know any of these assets. I just don't. I have the assets that I look at, and they've done me well. Probably about 400-500% of the portfolio over the last couple months, and that's in terms of Bitcoin, which means when Bitcoin rips, whatever it's going to rip over the next couple of years, it's been amplified, and that's exciting. Lend is a good. Lend looks good. The chart. Bancor looks good. Kyber, we got to see when it's going to break out from the sim triangle. Frankly, but this is such a sloppy sim triangle. It's so sloppy, so I can't tell whether it's breaking out or not. I mean, all the entire history of it is sloppy. So I have no idea what's going on with Kyber. So to the point where I don't want to take the speculative risk, and I've reduced my position substantially. Atom, systemically disruptive, just like DOT. Okay. Hi, do I buy more XRP, XLM, or BAT? I wouldn't buy any of either of them. XRP, if you haven't known, is broken down. It's failing. Check this out. I'll give you some perspective. So if you pull out to the daily, it's been going down for years. It's just straight down. Why would you buy something going straight down? I mean, look, even the most recent rip to the upside started. Look, it's even been going down since the pandemic. Meanwhile, DeFi is ripping to the upside 1,000% since the pandemic hit, and XRP is going down. So it tried to rip to the upside in July, and it just failed. Just failed. Look, it's a descending triangle that broke down. This chart screams, don't touch me. And then if you want to make it even worse, you look at the weekly chart. Look at the guppies on the weekly. This is 10 tons of concrete. There is no person that understands technical analysis in the planet that would ever put a position in on this asset. Nobody. So there you go. I wouldn't recommend buying more XRP. I can't speak to XLM or BAT. I don't follow the charts from a technical perspective. Basic attention token from a fundamentals perspective is cool. I don't know. It's very speculative whether it's going to gain the traction it needs to substantially appreciate in price. It's not something that I own. Gavin wrote the Solidity code. Yeah, man. Paul's on point. That's a big deal. Tino says, "Have you looked into Zap?" Have not looked into Zap. Reserved name beer. Uh, I don't know what you're talking about, my man. Anyway, what do we got? Friday, 12:32 in the afternoon. I'm going to wrap up the stream. I thank you all for spending time with me this week. It's been an entire week. We're going to do the same thing next week. We're going to do the same thing the week after. It is always a pleasure. This is the best part of my day. I thank you all for letting me speak. You guys asking questions, because that's how we're going to do what we do better and better and better. Y'all have a good day, and have even a better weekend. Peace. See you Monday.